What if I told you that getting rich really just comes down to following two simple, ironclad rules? Well, today we're diving into a super powerful framework for building wealth, and it all comes from the self-development guru Brian Tracy. Let's jump right in. I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? It's the dream. And of course, pretty much all of us would say yes. But there's a huge difference between wanting financial freedom and actually having a solid plan to get there. So let's figure out what we're really chasing. Because you can't hit a target if you don't know what you're aiming for, right? So what does financial freedom even mean? Let's get a really clear definition on the table. This is so important. Financial freedom isn't about just having a giant pile of cash. It's about having control. It's the power to make life choices because you want to, not because you have to pay the bills. You're not a puppet to your money anymore. You're the one pulling the strings. And the advice we're digging into today isn't just some random theory. It's from Brian Tracy, a guy who personally built a net worth of around 15 million US dollars. When someone who's actually walked the walk talks about money, you probably want to listen up. So let's get to his very first rule. And honestly, this is a total game changer. It's going to ask you to completely flip the way you think about your paycheck. Okay, this is the big idea right here. See, most of us, we get paid, we pay the rent, we buy our food, and then maybe we save whatever's left over. This rule flips that whole script. You have to treat your savings like it's the most important bill you have, and you pay it first. No excuses. So what's the magic number he suggests starting with? Just 10%. Before a single cent goes to anyone else, your landlord, the grocery store, anyone, you take 10% right off the top. And that's non-negotiable. And the process itself? Super simple, as you can see. The absolute key, though, is step 2. You have to move that 10% into a separate account immediately. Get it out of sight, out of mind. That way you're not even tempted to touch it. Then you just figure out how to live on what's left. This really gets to the psychology of it. I know, the first thing you're probably thinking is, there's no way I can't live on 90% of my income. But what Tracy discovered is that we humans are incredibly adaptable. Our spending just naturally shrinks to fit whatever money is available. You'll find a way, and honestly, after a little while, you won't even miss it. And this is where it gets really powerful. Once you nail down that 10%, you build momentum. You prove to yourself you can do it. So maybe you push it to 15%, then 20%. And every single percent you add is like hitting the fast forward button on your entire financial future. Now, 20% is amazing, but some people take this idea to a whole different level. I mean, what if I told you someone saved 75% of their income? It sounds completely insane, but it's a real number from someone who took this rule to the absolute extreme. Yep, that person was the NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal. Even while he was making millions and millions of dollars, he saved 75% of it. Why? Because he knew his basketball career wouldn't last forever. He was playing the long game, thinking about his future security more than spending big today. What a mindset. Okay, so rule 1 is all about building that savings muscle. Rule 2 is how you put those savings on steroids by legally protecting them from one of your biggest expenses, taxes. I mean, just look at this. In a lot of tax systems, like in Thailand, for example, people with higher incomes can lose up to 35% of their money to taxes. That is a massive piece of your hard-earned cash that's gone before you can even do anything with it. But here's the secret. The tax code isn't just about taking your money. It's also built to give you incentives for doing smart things, like saving for retirement. This is not about illegal tax evasion. This is about smart, legal tax planning, using the very tools the government gives you to lower your bill. And the difference is just, wow, it's night and day. On one side, a big chunk of your money just vanishes. But on the other, when you use these tax-deductible accounts, the money that would have been sent to the government is instead put to work for you in your own investments. It's like getting a government-sponsored boost for your savings. So what do these tools actually look like? Well, in a place like Thailand, they have things called long-term equity funds and retirement mutual funds. Most countries have their own versions, like 401ks or IRAs in the United States. They're all designed to do the same thing, give you a tax break today for saving for tomorrow. How it works is pretty simple. You put money into these special funds, and you get to deduct that amount from your income when you file your taxes. Now, what's the catch? Well, you have to leave the money in there for the long term. But let's be real, that's not a catch. That's the whole point. It forces you to build that long-term wealth.
So that's the system. Rule 1 creates the habit and finds the money. Rule 2 protects that money and makes it grow faster using the tax code. It is such a powerful 1-2 punch for building real lasting wealth.
But you gotta remember, these two rules are the starting line, not the finish line. Financial literacy isn't a one-and-done thing. Tax laws are always changing, new investment options pop up, and your own goals are gonna change over time. Staying educated is how you stay in the driver's seat. And that brings us right back to where we started. This quote says it all. Financial freedom isn't like winning the lottery. It's not about getting lucky. It's the prize you get for taking control, for making a plan, and for having the discipline to see it through. So after all that, the only real question left is, what is your first step going to be? Are you going to log into your bank account right now and set up that automatic 10% transfer? Are you going to start looking up the tax-advantaged accounts that are available to you? Information is great, but action is what builds the future. That first step is all yours.